Parasympathetic vagus nerve, cranial nerve, neurotransmitter releases acetylcholine, regulation of cardiac activity, regulation by medulla oblongata. CNS, medulla oblongata by CNS, medulla oblongata CNS, central neural system. Medulla oblongata central neural system. Okay. Peripheral neural system, PNS, autonomous neural system, parasympathetic, and sympathetic, parasympathetic and sympathetic. Cranial nerve, vagus nerve, NERV nerve, cranial nerve, vagus nerve, neurotransmitter acetylcholine, cranial nerve, vagus nerve, parasympathetic, cranial nerve, vagus nerve, neurotransmitter. ACH, acetylcholine, CHOLN, acetylcholine release, neurotransmitter acetylcholine release, heartbeat rate 70 to 75. Heartbeat rate normal. Heartbeat rate normal. 70 to 75. Okay. Speed of conduction of EP. What is EP now? Speed of conduction of EP decreases. Cardiac output decreases. Sympathetic acetylcholine, oscillatory nerve, spinal nerve, oscillatory nerve, spinal nerve, cranial nerve, parasympathetic is spinal nerve, oscillatory nerve, epinephrine and non-epinephrine, heartbeat increases, oscillatory nerve, spinal nerve, epinephrine and non-epinephrine, heartbeat increases, strength of ventricle contraction increases, cardiac output increases, strength of ventricle contraction increases, cardiac output increases, sympathetic emergency, okay. Parasympathetic resting, spinal, sympathetic during emergency, spinal nerve, axillary, ACCE, axillary nerve, spinal nerve, axillary nerve, sympathetic during emergency, spinal nerve, axillary nerve, sympathetic during emergency, spinal nerve, axillary nerve, neurotransmitter, transmitter, spinal nerve, axillary nerve, neurotransmitter, epinephrine and non-epinephrine, NEPHRNE, epinephrine and non-epinephrine, non-epinephrine, right? Oscillatory nerve, neurotransmitter, oscillatory nerve, epinephrine and non-epinephrine, heartbeat rate increases. Strength of STRENGTH, strength of ventricular contraction increases, heartbeat rate increases. When heartbeat rate increases, cardiac output increases. Hormonal regulation, adrenal medulla, from adrenal cortex, adrenal and non-adrenaline, both increases heartbeat. Thyroid gland, thyroxine, BMR, basal metabolic rate increases, heartbeat increases. Hormonal regulation, यहीं पर लिख देती हूँ. Sympathetic में heartbeat rate increases. Strength, STRENGTH, strength of ventricular contraction increases. Okay, resting, heartbeat rate 70 to 75, normal. यता निर कुन चाहिँ हुन्छ cranial nerve, sympathetic मा spinal nerve, जसलाई के भन्छ vagus nerve, spinal nerve हो, cranial nerve को नाम हो vagus nerve त, cranial nerve, spinal nerve. Parasympathetic मा cranial nerve, which is also called cranial nerve, vagus nerve, spinal nerve, axillary, okay. vagus nerve मा के हुन्छ भन त, axillary, spinal nerve, axillary, या vagus nerve के हुन्छ, acetylcholine, ACH release गर्छ जसले heartbeat rate normal, acetylcholine neurotransmitter vagus nerve, accelerating nerve, spinal nerve. Epinephrine and non-epinephrine, heartbeat rate increases. दुईटा हार्मोन के हो, thyroxine THYROID थाइरोइडले के रिलिज गर्छ थाइरोक्सिन THYROXIN थाइरोक्सिन जसले BMR बेजल मेटाबोलिक रेट इन्क्रिज गर्छ हार्ट बीट रेट इन्क्रिज हुन्छ अर्को एउटा थाइरोइड छ अर्को के छ एड्रिनल ग्ल्यान्ड दुईटा adrenaline and non-adrenaline heartbeat rate increases heartbeat rate increase हुन्छ parasympathetic र sympathetic autonomous system को दुईटा पार्ट छ parasympathetic र sympathetic parasympathetic resting phase मा हुन्छ heartbeat rate decrease देखा जाएगा which of the following is associated with decrease in cardiac output के ले गर्छ parasympathetically neural signal किनकि heartbeat rate normal हुन्छ heartbeat rate increase गर्यो भने मात्रै cardiac output increase हुन्छ stroke volume into heartbeat rate हुन्छ cardiac output cardiac output volume of blood pumped by each ventricle per minute multiplied by the heart rate number of beat per minute cardiac output stroke volume into heartbeat rate stroke volume is fixed 70 into heartbeat rate approximately 500 ml per liter 70 into 72 14 5,000 ml per liter 5,000 ml that is 5 liter per minute which of the following condition cause erythroblastosis fetalis mother RH negative mom RH positive mother mother RH negative fetus RH positive Which of the following condition cause erythroblastosis fetalis mother negative RH negative fetus RH positive option number 3 6 this one body fluid and circulation 6 go 3 yes correct all of the components of the nodal tissues are autoexcitable why does the assay node wrong kiya tha tabhi all the components are autoexcitable. Why does the assay node act as normal pacemaker? All the components of the nodal tissue are autoexcitable. All the components of the nodal tissue are autoexcitable. Nodal tissue. Why would assay node act as the normal pacemaker? Assay node has the highest rate of depolarization. Assay node has the lowest rate of depolarization. Assay node is the only component to generate the threshold potential. Only assay node can convey the action potential to other components. Option 3. 7 to 3. 7 to 3. All the components of nodal tissues are autoexcitable. Why does the assay node act as normal pacemaker? Has the highest rate of depolarization. Need 2019. RH grouping. Another antigen, the RH antigen. Another antigen, the antigen, similar to one present in rhesus monkey, hence RH, is also observed on the surface of RBC of majority 80%, nearly 80% of human. Such individuals are called Rh positive, and those in whom this antigen is absent are called Rh negative. An Rh negative person, Rh negative person, if exposed to Rh positive blood, will form specific antibody, okay, against the Rh antigen. Therefore, Rh group should be matched before transfusion. A special case of Rh incompatibility mismatching has been observed between the Rh negative of a pregnant mother with Rh positive of the fetus. Rh negative blood of a pregnant mother with Rh positive blood of the fetus. Rh negative blood of pregnant mother with Rh positive blood of the fetus. Observed between the Rh negative blood of a pregnant mother with the Rh the first pregnancy as the two legs were well separated by placenta. First child, there is a possibility of exposure to the maternal blood to small amount of Rh positive blood from the fetus. Exposure of the maternal blood to small amount of Rh positive blood from the fetus. In such case, the mother starts preparing antibodies against Rh antigen in her blood. In case of her subsequent pregnancies, the Rh and destroy the fetal RBCs. This could be fatal to the fetus or could cause severe anemia and jaundice to the baby. This condition is called erythroblastosis fetalis. This can be avoided by administering anti-RH antibody. Anti-RH antibody. Anti-RH antibody to mother immediately after. Cardiac cycle. Cardiac. Tissues are auto-excitable. Why does acid not act as the normal pacemaker? Human circulatory system, also called the blood vascular system. Blood vascular system. Human circulatory system, also called the blood vascular system, consists of a muscular chambered heart, a network of closed branching muscular chambered heart, A network of closed branching blood. Network of closed branching blood vessels. Muscular chambered heart. A network of closed branching blood vessels and blood. The fluid which is circulated. Chambered heart. Body fluid. Blood. Network of blood vessels. Heart is mesodermally derived organ. Is situated in the thoracic cavity. Thoracic cavity. Thoracic cavity. Cervical thorax. Thoracic cavity. In between the two lungs. Is situated in the thoracic cavity. In between the two lungs. Between lungs. Okay. Slightly tilted to left. Okay. Slightly tilted to left. It has the size of clenched fist. It is protected by double-walled membranous bag, double-walled membranous bag, pericardium, double-walled, okay, double-walled membranous bag, pericardium, enclosing the shit. Double-walled membranous bag, pericardium, enclosing the pericardial fluid. Our heart has 4 chambers. Membranous bag, pericardium, enclosing the pericardial fluid. Pericardial. Membranous bag, pericardium, double-walled, okay. Fluid, pericardium. Pericardial fluid. Membranous bag, double-walled membranous bag, pericardium, enclosing fluid, pericardial fluid. Our heart has 4 chambers. 4 chambers, two relatively small upper chambers are called atria. 2 smaller atria, larger lower chambers, ventricles. A thin muscular wall called the interatrial. Thin muscular wall called the interatrial septum. Interatrial septum separates the right and the left atria. Separates right and left atria. Okay. Thin. It is thin. A thin muscular wall. A thin muscular wall called the interatrial septum. In between. Interatrial septum. Atrial septum separates the right and the left atria. Whereas the thick wall, this one is thick wall, interventricular septum. Thin atria को लागि हुन्छ, thick ventricle को लागि हुन्छ. Thick interventricular septum separates the left and the right ventricle. The atrium and the ventricle of the same side are also separated. By thick fibrous tissue. Called atrioventricular septum. Interatrial septum, interventricular septum, atrioventricular septum, fibrous. Thin, thick, fibrous. Okay, fibrous. tissue called atrioventricular septum. However, each of the septa are provided with an opening through which the two chambers of the same side are connected. However, each of the septa are provided with an opening. Each of the septa are provided with an opening through which the right and through which the However, each of the septa are provided with an opening through which the two chambers of the same side are connected. Opening through which the two chambers of the same side are connected. Two chambers of the same side are connected. Atrioventricular septum. However, each of the septa are provided with an opening through which the two chambers of the same side are connected. The opening between the right atrium and the right ventricle. Right atrium and right ventricle. Tricuspid. Right atrium and right ventricle is guarded by a valve formed by three muscular flaps or cusps. The tricuspid valve. Okay, right side ma tricuspid valve. The opening between the right atrium and the right ventricle is guarded by a valve formed by three muscular flaps or cusps. Tricuspid, whereas bicuspid or mitral valve guards the opening between the left atrium and left ventricle. Left atrium and left ventricle. Bicuspid, mitral. Tricuspid, right atria, right ventricle. The opening of the right and the left ventricle into the semilunar valve. Now, it's the opening of the left atrium and the left ventricle. The opening of the right and the left ventricle, right ventricles into the left वाला जाएगा pulmonary artery या फिर aorta. I think aorta. Right वाला जाएगा तुम्हारा aorta. राइट वाला एवोटा में नहीं जाएगा, पल्मोनरी आर्टरी, पल्मोनरी ट्रंक में जाएगा. Pulmonary trunk, ventricle, aorta. Left ventricle, pure blood, oxygenated blood inside, no? Aorta, left one, right one, pulmonary trunk, pulmonary artery and aorta respectively through semilunar valves, okay? The opening of the right and the left ventricle into the pulmonary artery, right, pulmonary trunk and left aorta respectively are provided with semilunar valves. The valves in the heart allows the flow of blood only in one direction. One direction. Flow of blood. Heart allows flow of blood in one direction. From atria to ventricle, ventricle to aorta and pulmonary trunk respectively. Atria to ventricle, from ventricle to pulmonary artery or aorta. This valves prevent backward flow of blood. Excuse me. The entire heart is made of cardiac muscles. They are striated, uninucleated, found in heart, yeah. Striated, branched, intercalated discs, gap junction, desmosomes, everything is present. Obliques is present. They are branched. That's it. One more is that. Protein, regulatory protein, tropomyosin and troponin. Cardiac muscles, desmosomes, intercalated, gap junction, obliques, everything is present. Striated, stripped, uninucleated, cylindrical structure and branched. Light and dark band present. Neurotransmitter, they are involuntary, okay? Involuntary. Regulatory protein, troponin and tropomyosin found in heart. Neurotransmitter, ACH, acetylcholine and epinephrine. Acetylcholine and epinephrine present. Obliques. Intercalated disc, involuntary. They are involuntary, okay. Cardiac muscles. Entire heart is made up of cardiac muscles. The wall of ventricle are much thicker than wall of ventricle are thicker than that of atria. A specialized cardiac musculature called nodal tissue is also distributed in the heart. Specialized cardiac musculature, nodal tissue. Specialized cardiac musculature. Nodal tissue is distributed in the heart. Figure 15.2a. 15.2a. Section of human heart. Nodal tissue. Sinoatrial node, SA node, sinoatrial node. Then this one, atrioventricular node, sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node. Then bundle of his left ventricle, no. Bundle of his interventricular septum, okay. Sinoatrial node. San. A patch of tissue is present in the right upper corner of right atrium, okay. Right upper corner of right atrium. Left, right upper corner of right atrium. Sinoatrial node, SN sun. Sinoatrial node, right upper corner of right atrium. The mass of the tissue is seen in the lower left corner of the right atrium. Right ho, lower left, right corner mass and left corner ma. Right, okay. Left and lower left of the right atrium, close to atrioventricular septum, okay. Close to atrioventricular septum, called the atrioventricular node, avian, atrioventricular node, 2 node, SN, sun and avian, atrioventricular node, sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node, sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node. A bundle of nodal fiber, atrioventricular bundle, AV bundle, continues from avian, which passes through the atrioventricular septa to emerge on top of the interventricular septum and immediately divides into right and left bundle. A bundle of nodal fiber, atrioventricular bundle, AV bundle, atrioventricular bundle, AV bundle, atrioventricular bundle. A bundle of nodal fiber, sinoatrial node, avian, atrioventricular node, right atria, lower left, upper right. A bundle of nodal fiber, atrioventricular bundle, AV bundle, continues from avian, sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node, from there continues AV bundle, atrioventricular bundle, avian, continues from avian, atrioventricular bundle, AV bundle continues from avian, atrioventricular node, which passes through the atrioventricular septa, passes through first atrioventricular septa to emerge on top of interventricular septum, atrial ventricular या फिर ventriculo, atrioventricular septa देखिए, first atrioventricular septa, या देखिए मतलब interventricular septum, atrioventricular septa, interventricular septum, immediately divides into right and left bundle. AV bundle continues from avian, which passes through atrioventricular septa to emerge on top of interventricular septum and immediately divides. Interventricular septum ना आयो, क्या ही कर सकते हैं, and immediately divides into right and left bundle, and immediately divides into right and left bundle. and immediately divides into right and left bundle. Middle divides and right and left bundle. These branches give rise to minute fiber throughout the ventricular musculature. I की हो ये सब. The branches give rise to left and right bundle, right? देखो एट्रियोभेन्ट्रिकुलर नोड यो के हो एभी बन्डल हो हाम्रो त्यहाँदेखि राइट र लेफ्टमा डिभाइड हुन्छ इमिडिएटली यो दुईटा बन्डलले राइट र लेफ्टले के गर्छ भने त राइट र लेफ्टले बन्डल these branches give rise to minute fiber बनिन्छ यहाँबाट के हो through the ventricular musculature of the these branches give rise to minute fiber throughout the ventricular musculature body minute fiber हुन्छ of the respective side and are called Purkinje fiber. Sun, AVN, AV bundle, left and right bundle, Purkinje fiber. Throughout the ventricular musculature. Purkinje fiber. The nodal musculature has the ability to generate action potential without any external stimuli. The nodal musculature. Throughout the ventricular musculature, okay? A specialized cardiac musculature, nodal tissue. The nodal musculature has the ability to generate action potential without any external stimuli. That is auto-excitable. Node are auto-excitable. कितना जल्दी टाइम चला जाता है यार कुछ बड़ी भी नहीं ऐसा फील हो रहा है. The nodal musculature has the ability to generate action potential without any external stimuli. It is auto-excitable. Nodal tissue auto-excitable. However, the number of action potential that could be generated in a minute vary at different parts of the nodal system. Sun can generate maximum number of action potentials generated in sun, that is 70 to 75 per minute, and is responsible for initiating and maintaining. Okay, responsible for initiating and maintaining. Chodo Ima, shut up. Initiating and maintaining the rhythmic contractile activity of heart. Therefore, it is called the pacemaker. Sun ne kyo pacemaker. Our heart normally beats 70 to 75 times per minute. Average 72 minute. 70 to 75 minute. 70 to 75 per minute. Heartbeat. Average 72. Okay. Normal. Okay. Sun. Maximum action potential. Maximum action potential is generated by sun. Sun can generate the maximum number of action potential, that is 70 to 75 per minute. 70 to 75 per minute is responsible for initiating and maintaining the rhythmic contractile. Maintains rhythmic contractile of heart. Rhythmic contractile activity of heart. Initiating and maintaining the rhythmic contractile activity of heart. Maximum number of action potential 70 to 75%. Responsible for maintaining rhythmic contractile of heart. Initiating and maintaining rhythmic contractile activity of heart. Rhythmic contractile activity of heart. Rhythmic contractility. Rhythmic contractile activity of heart. All the components of the nodal tissues are auto-excitable. Why does assay, that is sinoatrial node act as the normal pacemaker? It acts as normal pacemaker because it has the highest rate of depolarization. Assay node act as normal Pacemaker because it has the highest rate of depolarization. Highest rate of depolarization. Highest rate of depolarization. Highest number of depolarization, highest rate of depolarization. R rate pacemaker, highest rate of depolarization. Okay, pacemaker sun is pacemaker sun, pacemaker sun, pace setter AVN, I guess. 70 to 75 times in a minute, average 72 times in a minute, average 72 beats per minute, average 72 beats per minute. A specialized nodal tissue embedded in the lower corner of right atrium, AVN, atrioventricular node. A specialized nodal tissue embedded in the lower corner of right atrium, close to atrioventricular septum. Tissue embedded in the lower corner of the right atrium, close to atrioventricular septum. Atrioventricular septum delays the spreading of impulse to the heart apex for about 0.1 second. This delay allows the atria to empty completely, the blood to enter aorta, the ventricle to empty completely, blood to enter pulmonary artery. पहले पढ़ तो ले. 0.1 second systole of contraction of atria. Inferior ventricle. Contraction of atria. Contraction of atria. The ventricle to empty completely, blood to enter pulmonary artery, atria to completely empty. First option, 8 को 1. 8 को 1 correct. 8 को 1 correct. How does the heart function? Let us take a look. To begin with, all the four chambers of the heart are in relaxed state. To begin with, all the four chambers of heart are in relaxed state. That is, they are in joint diastole. Relaxed state, joint diastole. Excuse me. Depolarization of P. First one, Pico. Atrial depolarization. Depolarization of ventricle. That is contraction of ventricle, and finally repolarization. Excitation or depolarization of atria. Depolarization of atria. Depolarization of ventricle, which makes ventricular contraction. Okay. Contraction starts shortly after Q. After Q को बाद में मुझे contraction start means marks the beginning of systole. And marks the beginning of systole contraction. Return of ventricle from excited to normal state. Repolarization. T wave mark the end of systole. End of systole. तीन ही तो चीज है. If they are in joint diastole, four chambers completely at rest. joint diastole, relaxed state, joint diastole. As the tricuspid and bicuspid valve are open, tricuspid right side, bicuspid mitral left side, yeah. Tricuspid, as tricuspid and bicuspid valve are open, blood from the pulmonary vein and vena cava flows into the left and right ventricle through left and right atria, okay. Pulmonary vein and vena cava flows into left and right ventricle through left and right atria, okay. Pulmonary vein bata left atrium and vena cava bata right atrium vena cava, left atria vena cava, right atria flows into left and right ventricle respectively through the left and right atria. The semilunar valves are closed. Semilunar valves are closed at this stage. Joint diastole हुन्छ फर्स्टमा. जोइन्ट डायस्टोल सबै स्टेट के हुन्छ रिल्याक्स हुन्छ. त्यसको बादमा के हुन्छ ट्राइकस्पिड र बाइकस्पिड भल्भ ओपन हुन्छ. किन ओपन हुन्छ भने त ब्लड आउँछ नि त पल्मोनरी भेनबाट लेफ्ट एट्रियममा, विना काभाबाट राइट एट्रियममा. The tricuspid and bicuspid valves are open. Blood from the pulmonary vein and vena cava flows into the left and right ventricle. So to the left and right atria. Semilunar valves are closed at this stage. The SAN now generates an action potential. SAN generates action potential which stimulates both the atria to undergo simultaneous contraction. Okay. The SAN, sinoatrial node, now generates an action potential which stimulates both the atria to undergo a simultaneous contraction. The atrial systole. The SAN action potential which stimulates the atria to undergo simultaneous contraction. The atrial systole. Systole one means a contraction la systole, okay. This increases the flow of blood into the ventricle by about 30%. Increase flow of blood into ventricle by एट्रियाबाट भेन्ट्रिकलमा ब्लड फ्लो 30% इन्क्रिज गर्छ. SANले एक्सन पोटेन्शियल जेनेरेट गरेपछि increase the flow of blood into ventricle by about 30%. The action potential is conducted at ventricular side by AVN. The action potential is conducted to ventricular side by AVN, atrioventricular node, and AV bundle, from where the bundle of His transmitted through bundle of His. पढ़ने का तो मन भी नहीं है, फिर भी पढ़ना पड़ता है. Bundle of His, अब AV bundle of Purkinje, AV bundle लाएंगे तो बंदल से नहीं, bundle of Purkinje fiber 40 to 45 impulse per minute. SAN को कहते हैं 70 to 75 or 70 to 75 I guess. 70 to where is it? 70 to 75 per minute. 70 to 75 per minute. Action potential by pacemaker, SAN. Sinoatrial node, right atrium, okay. देखो bundle of His like वो ही बोलते हैं AB bundle of His और AB bundle. Bundle of His, this is AV bundle, PUNDLE bundle, okay. The action potential is conducted to the ventricular side by AVN, atrioventricular node, and AV bundle of His, from where the bundle of His transmitted through the entire ventricular musculature. Bundle of His, Purkinje fiber, okay. Bundle of His, AV bundle, okay. AV bundle. AV bundle from where the bundle of his transmit it through the entire ventricular musculature. The action potential is conducted to the ventricular side by the AVN, atrioventricular node, and AV bundle, from where the bundle of His transmit it through the entire ventricular musculature. His bundle of His transmit through the entire ventricular musculature. This causes the ventricular muscle. आएन एक त्यो पानी यो उठाउने आएन म सुन्दा म हुँदा पनि आएन ए दिँदैन होला भनेर सोच्यो होला नि केटाकेटीले कहाँबाट दिन्छ आयो भने दि आएन भने नदिए के लुचेर 3000 मात्रै त्यो पैसा 2000 फेरि थिएन दिउ राख्छ छैन भने अनि थिएन त होला नि कहाँबाट दिन्छ त हिजो आमाले डल्लै पैसा दिएको थिएन अनि जम्मा मेरो 15600 हो नि त हिजोसम्मको उसले हिजो कति दिएको थियो आमालाई 10600 दियो हैन अनि 3000 गर्दाखेरि 13600 अब 2000 सब्जी दोकानमा कति दुईसौ उइसलाई पनि हेर्नु जानु छ नि त पर अङ्कललाई सब्जी दोकानमा त कति नै भएको 400 दिएकोमा 200 चाहिँ भयो अहिले दिदी किन आएको सब्जी दोकानको अङ्कलले सब्जी ल्याइदियो अलिसाको बाबा बिमार छ भने किन ल्याइन है कतिवटालाई हेर्नु मलाई कसले हेर्छ हाम्रो आमाकोमा दिनु छ अस्ति खट्टु लगेको 400 खतरा खुद्रा हामीले दुध खाएको चिनी खाएको 25 The action potential is conducted to the ventricular side by AVN, an AV bundle from where the bundle of His transmitted through the entire ventricular musculature. The action potential is conducted to the ventricular side by the AVN. The action potential is conducted. The action potential is conducted to the ventricular side by AVN and AVN, atrioventricular node, and AV bundle from where the bundle of His transmitted through the entire ventricular musculature. This causes the ventricular muscle to contract. This causes the ventricular muscles to contract. Ventricular systole, okay. The atria undergoes diastole, coinciding with the ventricular systole. Okay, ventricular systole, atria relaxation, undergoes relaxation. Diastole, atrial diastole, ventricular systole, coinciding with ventricular systole. Ventricular systole increases the ventricular pressure. Increases the ventricular pressure, causing the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valve. Tricuspid and bicuspid valve. Okay, closure of valve, tricuspid and bicuspid valves. Ventricular systole increases the ventricular pressure, causing the closure. Increases the ventricular pressure, causing the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valve due to attempted backflow of blood. Due to attempted backflow of blood into the atria. Due to attempted backflow of blood into the atria. आमाको कति बेसी पैसा बाँच्ने थियो सही महिना रातिलाई दिन नपर्नु परेको के छैन बिस्तारै थुपारेर जानु न Bicuspid valve due to attempted backflow of blood into the
10,400 त्यसले बोकेर
huh?
10,400 लग्यो
त्यति भए पनि कता कता हुने नहुनेको
कसले दिनु सक्छ त्यसरी होइन
Bicuspid valve due to attempted तर योलाई सुध्रिँदैन होला म फेरि बाङ्नु आउँछ होला है
अन्त मैले अघि बिहान पनि भनेको सामान लिएर आइहाल रुम भाडा नतिर भनेको
के भन्नु त्यतिखेर
मान्दिनँ अब त भन्थ्यो
1 महिना 2 महिना माग्दैन होला फेरि भुल्यो कि भन्दै माग्नु आइहाल्छ नि
आयो भने रुम भाडा आउँछ बस्छ के होइन तिर्नै भन्ने मलाई के छ
मैले चाहिँ त्यही भनेको आमालाई नदिनु भनेर आमालाई सानो मन गर्छ Bicuspid valve due to attempted backflow of blood into the atria. As the ventricular pressure increases further, the semilunar valve
सामान लिएर आइहाल भनेको खोइ आएन
बोलेन होला हो त्यस्तो भन्दा
ए भनेन अझै त्यो पैसा त बहिनीले हालिदियोस् न भनेर मलाई दिँदै थियो हो अब उसकोमा चाहिँ कहाँ साह्रो पैसा हालिदिन्छ मैले भने
मेरो त्यो पैसा नि थिएन त के भन्छ अहिले पनि छैन म अस्ति भनेको त आमालाई एफडी हालेको छु फिक्स डिपोजिटमा जान्छ त्यो त तोड्नु पो पर्छ नि त एफडी तोड्यो भने मात्रै आउँछ त त्यो त मैले अस्ति आमाको यत्रो कालो मुख बनाइरहेको थिएँ र बिचरा कहाँ जान्छ खोज्दै भनेर पो आमालाई निकालिदिन्छु भनेको त्यसलाई त निकालिदिन्छु भनेको होइन म त त्यो त मैले भने पनि दिँदिनँ नि म त आमालाई पो यसो माया लागेर दिन्छु भनेको त्यसलाई त किन दिन्छु मेरोमा छ भने पनि दिँदिनँ
अब त्यो तल नभएदेखि चाहिँ पर्खेर अब दोकान खोल्छ र होइन फोनको दोकान दिइराख्नु अनि त्यहाँदेखि त्यो साथीहरूलाई हाल्नुलाई उसको साथीहरूकोमा यत्रो पैसा कहाँ हुन्छ लफुडङ त्यो खोलेर जाऊ
त्यो अर्को लफुडङ्गा त्यो खट्टु केटाले चाहिँ मलाई किन फोन गरेको अरे साला त्यसले पालेको जस्तो त्यसले पैसा दिन्छ
के थाहा त्यो त सोध्न त्यसै भन्
भन्यो त नि त्यस्तै त्यसले मलाई होइन त्यसले रातेलाई पालेको छ अरे हामीलाई कल गरेको अरे सबै झापाले दिन्छ नि है छोडिदिनु रिस मात्रै हुन्छ मलाई यस्तो कपालमा समातेर जग्गा टुइँ घुमाइदिनु मनपर्छ लाग्दैन त त्यसलाई हेर्नु न मैले के भने भन्नु कि भुल्यो भन्दै अब 2-3 महिना बादमा पैसा माग्नु आउँछ 1 महिना 2 महिना माग्दैन कि 3 महिनामा टक्कै आउँछ केटाको जस्तो मन गरेर हिँड्नु न आमा चाहिँ नदिनु माग्दाखेरि आमालाई लोभ लाग्दैन
लोभ गएर के गर्नु मेरो छोराछोरी हो अब म हुन्छ खाऊ दिन्छु नि खाओस् न होइन खान्छ म हुन्छ खाओस् कति खानु सबैको ड्युटी छोडेर बस्नु नि यहाँ आएर अब त कुकुरलाई जस्तो भनेको छ कान्छ
As the ventricular pressure increases further, as the ventricular pressure increases further, the semilunar valve guarding the pulmonary artery right side and aorta left side are forced open. Ventricular systole increases the ventricular pressure, causing the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valve due to attempted backflow of blood into the atria. As the ventricular pressure increases, ventricular pressure increases further, the semilunar valve guarding the pulmonary artery right side and the aorta left side are forced open, allowing the blood in the ventricle to flow through these vessels into the circulatory pathway. The ventricular pressure increases. As ventricular pressure increases further, the semilunar valve guarding the pulmonary artery right aorta left side are forced open, allowing blood in the ventricles to flow through these vessels into circulatory pathway. Tricuspid will be attempted backflow blood into the atria. As the ventricular pressure increases further, tricuspid will due to attempted backflow blood into the atria. As the ventricular pressure increases further, the semilunar valve guarding the pulmonary right side. It's okay, ma. Don't think about it. Coinciding with the ventricular systole. Ventricular systole increases the ventricular pressure causing the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valve due to attempted backflow of blood into the atria. As ventricular pressure increases further, the semilunar valve guarding the pulmonary artery, right side and aorta left side are forced open, allowing the blood. It's okay. It's okay. All is well. Ventricular pressure increases further. The semilunar valve guarding the pulmonary artery right side and aorta left side are forced open, allowing the blood into the ventricle to flow through this vessel into circulatory pathway. The ventricles now relax. Ventricular diastole, and the ventricle pressure falls, causing the closure of semilunar valves, which prevents the backflow of blood into the ventricles. यस्तो हो नि त फेरि